Okay. I'm just gonna fade into intro. Here we go, guys. Introduction.
Ah, shit. This episode of Defective Discourse has been brought to you by our patrons. Here at BRG, we'd like to thank those patrons who have subscribed and donated. It is because of generosity like yours that makes this show possible.
Defective Discourse. Welcome to the show where we talk about the topics that matter to you. Video games, media, technology, all starting now.
Okay, guys, welcome. Welcome to Defective Discourse for this, what are we in, July 2nd, 2019. So,
Did I miss the memo? Did half the year go by?
yeah.
Am I late to the show?
Okay, so, we might have a few technical difficulties. Yeah, I'm showing frame drops. So we'll just go with it. We'll see how it behaves. Hopefully it doesn't go really, really bad. You guys keep an eye on the stream. Let me know, okay?
I don't know if I can hear myself.
Can you not hear yourself? Come on, talk.
Talking.
Okay,
Wow.
let's see if I can hear myself repeat on the,
God. We start off this way every time. Yeah, my frames keep dropping.
I've got an echo.
You've got an echo?
Yeah.
You have an echo? Sucks to be you. Wait,
Oh, you know why? Because the audio's coming through the NDI, right? So what if I mute this? Speak a bit, see if you don't have an echo anymore.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if I lose my echo now.
Color in your room.
That got rid of it.
That got rid of it?
Yeah.
Warp, do you mind saying a few words? Oh, by the way, everybody, Warp Jester, our guest this month.
I'm back!
Are you, CZ, are you hearing an echo from Warped?
He's really thinking about it. No.
I don't hear one right offhand,
No.
but
All right, okay. All right.
but
well,
I've got a big delay, so I'm.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, let's fly with it. Let's see how it goes.
Quality programming at
guys.
its finest.
I'm going to have to re-look at all the inputs and stuff here. And I could have sworn I fixed my internet gibberish, and now I'm having drop frames again. But whatever. Today, we are going to be talking about VR. VR, virtual reality, for those of you who don't know the acronym. And for one, like,
It's a long acronym.
yeah, it's the reason we kind of thought this, or it was actually Warped who was like, "Hey, you guys should talk about VR." And why is that Warped? What is so good about VR right now, especially for you? Oh, okay.
I've discovered that there's a lot of personal games for VR.
You noticed those too. Okay, hang on. Before we go on, continue on that, I want to say hello and welcome to Component Z, directly beneath me. We've already introduced... Yeah, there you go. We've already introduced Warp Jester. Thank you, Warp, for joining us. I'm looking forward to this discussion. And, yeah, wow, there's some drop frames. Oh, God. I hear you because... it wasn't too long ago, I think, that you and I on the BRG podcast reported that Steam was going to make, like, games, anything goes as long as it's not illegal.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other thing? I can't remember. They said a couple of different things. And now we're starting to see a bunch of VR games that are nothing but just, like, these meat show and tell for the opposite sex. At least that's...
I'm sorry?
Well, I have seen these personal type games on there. A lot of them.
I've never heard them described that way.
Well, I didn't know what else to
That's
say.
news to me.
Okay, hold on. So what did you recently get into Warped?
I may have dived into the illicit world of VR, possibly.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, it was. So funny thing about this is, I had been thinking about for a while and started to do my homework on it and figure out what I want to do, and I'll get into that more later if we want to. But during that process, I was kind of like, I think I kind of want it. Maybe I'll get around to it. I don't know. And then my company had a potluck, and two guys both brought their entire rigs in, and we had the auditorium at my work. So basically, we set it up so we had each station set up in front of a 9-foot by 8-foot projector screen. So they were standing in front of the game playing on VR. So it was entertaining for not only for them, but also for us watching on the big screens. Nice. And after playing Beat Saber, it was kind of like, yeah, I have no justifiable reason to buy this, but I'm buying this for sure.
You know, I haven't tried that game yet.
What?
Yeah, I still haven't purchased it yet.
Okay, we'll be right back. Kiriko's gonna make a purchase real quick.
I have Audio Shield, but not Beat Saber.
Don't get me wrong. Audio Shield is one of the games that really made me fall in love with VR. When my friends got VR, that was one of the games I played and just was like, wow, this is amazing. Yeah. And I really do like Audio Shield a lot. The things about Audio Shield are, first of all, I love the modes. They have your typical game modes for like easy, medium, hard. And then they've got some casual gaming versions, which are no fail, have fun with them. And then they've got the exercise ones. They start making you do squats, ducking under walls over and over again while you're doing this. So it's a great thing. Also, the other thing about Audio Shield is really, really awesome is you can load up any music you have on your computer. And it will generate a beat map for it on the fly, and there you go. So it's great. That said, Beat Saber is a different beast. I'm not going to say it's better or worse. It's just it is a different rhythm game. And man, I tell you, I am so excited and happy that I have bought this now for two reasons. First of all, is just playing Beat Saber, I have worked up such a sweat. I mean, I get into it. I'm moving and shaking like nobody's business, and really enjoy it. You seriously, I come away soaking wet. It's a great workout. If you want to work out, that's a good way to do it. The other is, from day one of getting it, I got it in Amazon. This is one of those. Wednesday we had the potluck. Friday afternoon, my gear was here from Amazon. So.
Nice.
So by about midnight, I had the system running, and so I of course was up to like 2:30 in the morning testing it.
Awesome.
Well, I'm like an idiot. But the other thing is ever since we got that, this is 2 weeks now. Ever since we got the damn thing, me and the family have been together, hanging out in the living room every single evening playing.
Awesome.
So it's definitely been a wonderfully connective experience as well in that regard.
Cool. Oh, before we go too far, I forgot to say, and I know it's late, and I forgot to say it. Happy Canada Day.
Oh, well, thank you. Much appreciated. It was yesterday. I was home. I did my last stream for a month. I won't be streaming in the month of July. But anyways, we could talk about that at the end of the podcast.
I just want to applaud you guys for celebrating your hard-fought independence.
Right? Wait, thank you. God knows we fought hard for it. And we had to bribe a ton of people with a bunch of maple syrup crates, but that's beside the point.
You polited them to death. Polited them to submission.
Actually,
oh God, no more sorries. Well, give me the damn land.
July 5th, your Independence Day is coming up. In fact, 4th. July 4th, forgive me. In fact, I believe this podcast is going to be airing on the Bottle Rocket Gaming YouTube channel on that day as well.
Yeah, that's Thursday. That's correct.
That's correct. Yeah. Wow, that's pretty cool. Nice. Well, thank you.
Happy celebrate your independence by blowing a small piece of it up.
So, okay, hold on. there are some topics that we actually, it wasn't me. I'm not taking credit. CZ went through online, found a bunch of topics that we can just chat about that are and that revolve around VR. But I do want to ask Warped a bunch of questions and stuff like that, because now I have someone else in the circle who's like, "Yeah, I got VR." So let me ask you a couple of questions then.
Please.
So I noticed yours is green. Is that a skin you got for it? Is that
is a little silicone cover? Yeah.
Okay.
There's actually two things. I mean, it's kind of help a little bit if they get dropped or bumped. It's real thin, but
yeah. But it's still something.
Scratched up. And then on the controllers themselves, bear in mind, I have 4 kids ranging from 3 to 12.
Yeah.
So in addition to the skins, I also have a little like bumper cover.
Bumper. Oh, you know what? That's awesome, because my controller's got white marks from the ceiling on it.
Yes. So it really primarily is to protect the controller. This is not. It's not rubber. It's a very soft plastic or very stiff rubber kind of thing.
Got it. Yeah.
But I figure if anything more, it will sort of mitigate the damage when inevitably the 3-year-old walks across the 12-year-old while she's playing. For us here, because my office, which I used to be formerly in, if you've watched past podcasts, is now a domicile for a family. So we've moved the system or set the system in the living room, which is, a small living room and also the main pass through between the bedrooms and the rest of the house.
Gotcha.
So we had to teach the kids when and how to navigate around people with goggles on, because they can't see them. So yeah, I went the whole night. I also got the $100.
Oh, nice. I don't have that. I have the old straps.
I will tell you honestly, $99 is too damn much money for it, but you absolutely must get it.
Okay.
Hands down, bar none. The 2 guys I talked about at our potluck, one had it and one didn't.
Right.
And this is just, it is infinitely superior. The audio is really nice and it works really well in my opinion.
Gotcha.
That said, I couldn't give 2 shits less about the audio. It's all about the fact that you put the face hugger on, you pull it over your head and go, and you're done. It's beautiful.
Okay. All right. So I may make that my next purchase.
Mouse says to just to let survival of the fittest go. Let them walk through. They'll learn after they get hit.
Dude, I've had a friend in my VR area playing a game, and I'm busy watching the computer screen, because you can watch what they're seeing on the computer screen, right? And all of a sudden, I'm busy looking at that, not at my friend, and I feel the controller hit my ear. But it wasn't. Thank God it wasn't a hard hit. It was just like he was pushing to try and grab something, and I go, "What the hell?" My God!
No, it is definitely a learning experience for everybody. But the family is ecstatic. The kids are elated with it, and I find it interesting, because if you're ever thinking about getting this for your family to play with, 6 years old is apparently. My 60-year-old took to it like nobody's business. I am shocked, and everybody who puts it on, we have a standing rule that if it's your first time, you go through the orientation.
Good
game.
Yeah,
teach you the controllers. My 6-year-old took to it no problem. Her hands are so tiny she has to walk her hands up and down the controllers to hit all the buttons. No problem at all. Got her into Beat Saber, and she can do a couple different songs on easy with no fill turned off and actually make it through just fine. And it's cute as hell, because for people who play Beat Saber, all the walls you have to duck, she doesn't have to duck. What she does have to do, though, is for the side blocks that you have to hit sideways, she has to kind of reach up and jump for them. So it really is a really cool system, even for the kids, even that small.
You told me that the one I suggested, they loved it, Gnomes and Goblins, or what was it?
Oh yes.
So
even
good.
Even the wife loved it.
It's a demo, but it is so good. I literally, when I played that, I got tingles, like goosebumps all over the place. And
my littlest one was fun to watch.
I've been waiting for them to release that game. It's been like 2.5 years. I don't know if they are going to or not, but can't wait.
I would love to see what the gnomes look like, since that's not a thing yet.
Yeah.
It was very cute.
On a side note, Warped, you had asked Kirok if he had it. I have
what?
Bridge Crew.
Oh, yes!
I just don't play in VR. I play on standard monitor. But I still have Bridge Crew. Because it's still fun!
No.
So I need to get that game because it's like dirt cheap now on the Steam sale. By the way, there's a Steam sale, guys.
That's like saying Playboy magazines are just fine when I've got the internet video. I mean, yeah, I guess it'll work in a pinch, but my Chrome tabs never get sticky.
I have a very distinct problem with VR. I wear glasses.
Yeah.
With glasses?
No, I switch them out to contacts. It's the only time I wear contacts.
I am fortunate. I can take my glasses off because I can see close up, and that's good enough. But I did start out with glasses on, and it's not as convenient because I had to push the lens
thing away. Yes, yeah.
So it does work.
But yeah, I have a hard time fitting goggles over, and then I'm nearsighted, like really bad. So I have a hard time seeing the screen if I take my glasses off. If I take my glasses off, I can see the screen, but it'll give me a headache after a little while just from my eyes
strain. Yeah.
I will be honest with you. I definitely have some input and thoughts on, since I played this for a little bit, about what I would see as being improvements. But again, I'll save that for an appropriate point. Okay. What other questions do you have for me, Kirok? Lay them on me.
I think that's actually pretty much it. Like,
easy.
Anything? Have you guys played anything that have made anyone in the family like jump? Anything scary?
My oldest, my 12-year-old, really wants the Five Nights at Freddy's experience. I don't know if I want to clean up the mess as she shits herself, though, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to get that or not. Honestly, we haven't played anything that's like scary or jumpy in that regard. My little 6-year-old actually, when she was looking around and caught the goblin out of the corner of her eye on Gnomes and Goblins,
yeah,
she ran to the other corner of the play area. I had an instance. I played a game or tried out a game called Throw Everything, which is a game where you have zombies climbing walls, and you're kind of looking out a window, and you have to just grab furniture and people and whatnot and throw them at the zombies to knock them down. And the game wasn't well positioned, so that I didn't have much room between my physical limits and the limit of where you can look out, because you go past the lip of that window, you fall.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could fall.
Oh.
So I stepped out, and that was my first experience where VR had movement where reality didn't. And my knees almost instantaneously buckled when my eyes saw myself fall.
Oh.
It's amazing because you learn how quickly, how much auto positioning there is. It's subconscious that your body is constantly, keeping your legs locked and whatnot. Because as soon as I started to fall, everything turned off. It was all manual mode at that point, so I had to kind of like, oh crap!
Hey, you know what you should do, Kirok?
Yeah.
Or not Kirok, Warp. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm so used to yelling at Kirok. You should get the Five Nights at Freddy's experience. Wait until your 12-year-old has been at it for about 10 minutes, then tell the 6-year-old to go up and pat her on the back. just reach up and touch her.
I was more of the mind to get her into the game, and then very stealthily turn off all the lights and everything, and have everybody just leave the room.
That would be hilarious.
Now, if I could get a mask of Freddy and then pop out, that would be fantastic.
I can make that happen.
And for the record, yes, I am that big of an asshole.
I'm super happy to hear that you got one, man. Like, it's like yeah.
I am ecstatic. Like I said, it is a thrill toy. It is a luxury item, and I wanted to justify it by, hey, look, we can be active, we play Beat Saber, things like that. But that was kind of flimsy a little bit. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
it was fun, but it was, you are being more active. And I can pull up my Google Fit and show you. I'm actually, let's see, sedentary, 11 o'clock. Oh, look, active. You're always active from like 11 p.m. to like 2 a.m. for some reason. But yeah, no, I'm very happy with the purchase. I actually have another coworker now who is part of the potluck, and she's like, I need to get a new laptop. And I was just gonna get like a little 13-inch laptop to have, but now I kind of want to get one that can support VR. Like, you know what? Honestly, do it. Just do it. It's worth it. It is. I mean, anybody who's kind of skeptical about pulling the trigger for any reason, just do it. I mean, my skepticism on getting it when I started to look into it before that potluck was I did my homework, I looked into it, and I don't know if we're really ready to talk about this part of it yet, but
That's okay. It's all good.
But basically, in doing the research, the things I learned are primarily that there are three categories, if you will, and I'm not gonna include the PlayStation VR because I don't have a PlayStation, so we're gonna put the console aspect aside, and I'm not gonna talk about mobile. We're not talking about sitting experiences, Daydream, or anything like that. But for PC-based things, you've got basically three options. There's the Vive, there's the Oculus, and then there's the Microsoft compatible platform.
Yes.
And there's a whole bunch of different companies that are starting to make headsets.
That's Windows mixed reality.
Exactly. So I'll be honest with you. I really think Microsoft has something going, and I'm looking forward to really seeing it start to flesh out. And I think I feel like Microsoft's platform and the way they're doing it has the potential to help bolster and bring more people into the fold when it comes to VR, because there's a lot of headset systems out there that are more affordable in some regards. There are also some that are way the hell off the planet in cost, but they boast incredible resolutions and frame rates and everything. But anyways, I wanted to go something that's a little more established, and established happened to be Vive and Oculus. But that said, you get into that realm, and now all of a sudden you're talking about there's the original Vive, there's the Vive Pro. Don't ever buy it; it's not worth it. There's the new, just recently announced Vive, which is, I forget the name of it, but it's inside-out tracking.
Yes, Cosmos. It is the Cosmos. Yes. I actually have an article of that.
And then on the Oculus side, there's the OG of Oculus. There's the Oculus, was it Rift?
The Rift was the original.
The original, yes. The Rift was the original.
And there's the... God, see, this is where I get pissed off, because they have the original. They have an updated one, which I think is like the S or something like that.
Yeah, there's the Rift. There's the Rift S.
Just kind of the updated version. There's the Oculus Quest, and then there's the Oculus.
The Quest is similar to the Go, correct?
That's the other one. So
I haven't seen it.
So this is where things get really ugly again. This is actually where I get a little pissed at Oculus, and I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit tainted towards that one because I had experienced the Vive and was, partial to my. It's always your first girlfriend, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But Oculus kind of pissed me off because, again, you have the original, you have the updated version of it, then you've got one that came out that was a PC-less mobile version, which is more of a sit-down, not as powerful system, and then you have the new one from them, which is a inside-out tracking. It's got multiple cameras on it, and it tracks itself in the room. So there's no lighthouses or anything that need to assist it. And from all of the research and forums and videos and everything I read up about it, obviously the PC list is not going to happen. And to finish my thought, I dislike Oculus because putting the Oculus label on something that is very much a different experience. For those of you who have played with Google Daydream or mobile phone based systems, they're cute, they're neat,
but they're not.
It's not this at all.
No.
This is something completely different. Trust me on this. And I don't like the fact Oculus kind of muddies the water by putting their label on that. I would have preferred them to give it a different name and make sure it's very distinctly different. Anyways, so basically what I boiled down to is, do I do with the new Oculus or do I go with the original Vive? And I decided the Vive was probably the better choice. The reason for it was, again, my experience with the Vive was great. I hadn't had any experiences with the Oculus, but it just, all the reading up on it, it was like, okay, the updated Oculus does have a very slightly better visual ability than the current Vive, the old school Vive.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not so big on that. The other side of it is with Vive and the Vive Pro. The Pro is a updated, slightly better version of the Vive that cost a astronomical amount of money. It was just, it was stupid. It was,
and you don't even get the lighthouses or the controllers with it. I think.
Oh, a lot for just basically headset and, do you have controllers? Okay, cool. It wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
Now, what at that point, this is be a month ago, what got me to not pull the trigger, what got me to actually wait and hold off, was actually because I heard about the Index.
Yeah. So I wanted. Okay, hang on a sec. I didn't even know about the Index until you mentioned it. And mind you, you said something about along the lines of it being called Knuckles, or the new controller was called Knuckles. I did hear about that. Okay, I did hear about that, but then I never heard anything more. So I didn't know, right? So then you the other day go, you should look at this, and I went, what? So go ahead.
So basically, what it boils down to is, if people remember the history or are familiar with it, Valve, the big brother of the Steam world, worked in congruency with HTC to create the Vive headset. So there was a partnership. HTC made it, Valve supported it for games and whatnot. Now Valve is moving off and doing their own things. They have put all their research into one basket and have decided to design their own system. Now, before anything else, the first thing we heard about was a revised controller system.
Yeah.
Nicknamed or codenamed Knuckles. And people were really hot and heavy about these new controllers. They're going to be bigger and better and have more capacity than ever. And then information feels like it kind of died off. That said,
exactly.
Around the time that we got out of doing the weekly podcast, so my gaming my gaming news kind of fizzled a bit on that. So in any case, what ended up happening in that gap in time was they went from, hey, we're designing some new controllers, to, hey, look, whole new system, headset and everything. So it's actually a complete system. It's the lighthouses, or their version of lighthouses, which have a better range, a better field of vision, I should say, as well as a new headset, and then also the now relabeled Index controllers to go with the Index system or Index headset. So that one touted better resolution, better field of view, just good build quality and feature set and whatnot. I would definitely, from everything I've read about it, all the reviews I've watched, and now they're coming out, getting more reviews in, it really feels like the Index was more of a spiritual successor to the original Vive.
Right.
Yeah. So for people who are just into, I would go that direction now.
I have it up on the Steam website right now so people can see it, and it does take a lot of characteristics from the Vive. I mean, you got the lighthouses, where the new Vive doesn't even have that. And the Knuckles controllers that you mentioned, I remember seeing like a prototype a while back where the Knuckle controllers would clip to your hands. So you could actually open your hands completely and close them on the controller without the controllers falling out. And I think that's an amazing feature. I hope that's still part of it, because it looks totally different now.
Very much so.
Okay.
So there are a lot of, there's usual, hey, this is next generation, so quality of image and all that's better. Again, field of view is a little broader. The actual lenses are about 5 degrees off from each other, so you get a little wider field of view and whatnot. The headset itself, they have what they call a frunk. take off the front lens, and there's a little pocket with a USB 3 connection right at the front of it. So, as an example, somebody who has the I forget the company, but it has the hand
leap motion or
leap motion. Yeah. You could basically plug that in there if you wanted to, and it's an open platform that other people can build for. So basically, Valve kind of went, you know what? There's a maker community out there that love to build and modify. We're just gonna give them the means to do it, and so you can plug things in there and have there's an LC or an LED display that can light up and whatnot. But there's room for more stuff to happen, which is really cool. The controllers, however, are a whole different. Where the headset's kind of iterative, upgrade. The controllers are just flat out bottom line, new stem to stern, and every way possible better. Every way possible. To start with, you are correct. They have a strap that's designed to actually hold onto your hand, so you can let go. Yeah. And they just stay on your hand. And there's a reason for this. And that reason is it has something like 80 some odd sensors built into it to understand where your hands are. Wow. So when you do this, or do this, or do this,
it knows.
It knows it. And it will show it in VR.
Nice.
So it has full things. It also has grip understanding, meaning you can squeeze down on them and it understands that. Ah. And they even have a game already out that you can play when you have those, where it shows you, just like with the lab, not the lab, but the tutorial.
Yeah.
Walks you through the controllers for the thing. This new one walks you through these new controllers, doing things like having a good hearty handshake or playing rock, paper, scissors, and things like that. So it gets you used to understanding how the hands work. So I'm looking forward to that. They're better than 250, 270, somewhere around there.
Just for the controllers alone?
Just for the controllers. The whole kit is $1,000, which is pricey, I will admit. But if you remember back when the Vive first came out and when the Oculus Rift first came out with, no controllers, they were way up there too.
Yeah, they were.
So this is the kind of thing. Yeah, I would like to see it cheaper. I would have thought that Valve would be a little more willing to maybe eat some of the cost because it does bring people to the Steam platform more. And to be fair, Valve's starting to come under some pretty hefty competition now with so many other platforms supporting online downloads and online services for games. Not only the independents, but there's good old games and things like
good
that.
Old
but
games,
now you've got Origin, you've got a whole bunch of others now that are starting to come up.
You Play Plus. The look on your face, nice. So here's the thing: I have the page up for Steam that shows the Valve Index, and I am very upset right now, like incredibly upset right now. Because on their page, it says, not available in your country.
It's okay. We'll get you a pair and send them to you. I will only charge you $100.
We were already talking about that before
yes,
the stream.
Yes. So me and CZ might have a deal. I order it. He packs it up, ships it to me, and in return for his work, I send him my old Vive.
Where do you have the chat open for VRG? There's been some love for you in the channel, and you haven't said anything.
I am so sorry. I have honestly not even been there looking, huh?
Nutty Cottontail's been in the channel.
Nutty Cottontail, welcome.
Showing
Nutty!
Showing some love
tonight, and you haven't.
What's he saying? I don't have the chat either up, so I didn't see.
Kirok's too busy running the show.
Yeah, with all these. Well, actually, the frame drops seemed to have subsided. So,
I'm in the chat now. Sorry, peoples. But anyways, Yeah, I honestly, man, I would be very curious to talk to somebody I know and get the raw experience. I said I've watched a few videos of the initial impressions, but a lot of the initial impressions, this just came out officially, and I went to this thing, went, yes, I want the Knuckles, and I'm on a waiting list because holy crap, we can't support that many people asking for it. So I got to wait for a little bit. So I've seen some initial videos, but a lot of the initial videos are unboxing videos, which I want to punch people in the teeth when it comes to unboxing videos. I'm so sick and tired of it. You know, the most I want to know about unboxing videos is, does it come with the cables or not? Do I need to buy them?
Yeah.
That's about it. I couldn't give two shits less about anything else, to be quite frank and honest with you.
So hold on, you've done your research. Do you know if the Valve Index controllers are supported with the old HTC Vive? They're compatible?
They are. They absolutely are. Here's the weird thing that I learned is a lot of things are compatible with a lot of other things. You know, up until this point, you could go out and get the Oculus controllers, which have been touted as have a lot of pluses, more comfortable, ergonomic
than
the Vives. And you can use those instead of the Vive controllers, and some people do. My experience, I have not put my hands on anything else other than the Vive, but I can say from my experience with the Vive controller is when you're flailing like a deranged monkey in Beat Saber, for example, the weight of the Vive and the fact that you've got basically you're holding them, you've got this entire top section here, hanging off of there. It gets heavy.
Yeah.
It gets heavy and gets comfortable. And people may have noticed I have a repetitive stress issue from typing all the day. It hurts after a while. doing this constantly, doing this, it starts to become a discomfort for me. So I look forward to having the new controllers that slide on and stay on your hand, so you can open your hand up. You don't have to worry about gripping onto them constantly.
Yep, I got you.
I think it's going to be a big plus. And to be fair, I'm not trying to bash on anybody here. The Vive controllers were the first controllers to come out. The Oculus was the first headset to come out, but when it came out as a headset, and that was it. And you had to use like an
Xbox One controller or something.
Yeah. Then the Vive came out with controllers, and then after that, Oculus came out with their controllers, and again, people are noted said these are better. The only real complaint I've heard about with the Oculus controllers is the cover for the battery cover on the bottom is magnetically connected.
Oh, held on.
Yeah, so when you have it in your hands, it's easy for people to pop that cover loose, which means the whole thing no longer fits right. So
gotcha.
That's about it. But yeah, I mean, it's neat. It's really cool the fact that you can mix and match the pieces you like. The Oculus headset is a little bit lighter. Some people think that the Halo style band they use is more comfortable in some cases.
I have tried it, actually. I have tried the Oculus, and I found that it was definitely lighter. Other than that, in terms of resolution between the two, I didn't really notice any difference. The main thing was the fact that I found it was a lot lighter than the HTC Vive.
Yep.
Yeah.
That kind of bites them in the ass in some ways, because especially for the iteration of the original Rift, and it's like the S, it is still very light. But then some people are saying that it also feels cheap.
Gotcha.
Which, there's always a balancing act. There's almost times where you want to just add a lead weight in there just to give it some heft, so it doesn't feel. But when you've got a toaster fucking your face, a weight hanging off there is uncomfortable. This is one of the reasons why I got this $100 add-on to mine, which is a back strap that locks in. If you buy this thing, you have to get this. It's an extra $100, and $100 is too much. $60 would be a good price for it.
Right.
$100 is just too damn much, but it's totally worth it nonetheless. I hate saying that, but it helps because it forms around your head better. It doesn't slip. It's a much more comfortable fit. So it really helps out with that weight that's on the front. but again, the ability to mix and match, to use the controllers you want, the lighthouses you want, the headset you want, is really neat. And I really, really hope that they keep supporting that and keep allowing people to mix and match those pieces, because in the end, that's going to help maintain that steady growth. Because I'll be honest with you, VR is not the oh my god explosion sensation. This is not the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, no, it's
you
not.
Know?
Like I got mine in 2016, and I've played it quite a bit, but there have been times where it sat for months and I haven't touched it. I still haven't touched it in probably a good 6 or no, I think the last time I played it might be closer to 8 months now. And it's true. I mean, there are some great games for it. There's some great demos for it, and there's a lot of bad games for it too. So
what you do is you go to the VR section.
Yes.
You do price lowest to highest. What you'll find is a metric shit ton of free games that suck, and then you get into the 99-cent games. And just for all you home players, that's where all the porn is.
So hold on, I have. Okay, go ahead, CZ.
I was gonna say, what about non-gaming purposes of
VR? Okay.
Wait,
so
is this
we've talked about
not really gaming.
Yeah, no, we've talked about gaming. He's got a point. There was an article, a couple articles that he pulled up. Let me see if I can bring up that first one. So there's a specific article about Walmart using VR to determine who should get promotions and things like that. So it's pretty cool because it's been a few years now that VR's kind of like become this thing, but it's still, as you said, Warp, not, super ubiquitous. I can't even say that word.
Ubiquitous.
Thank you.
Mainstream.
Mainstream. Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Keep talking. I'm listening.
Yeah, no worries. I do have another question for Warp, but it's after all this stuff we're gonna go over. So Walmart's using VR to determine who should get a promotion. I'll just read right off the notes that we have. The country's largest private employer is using VR skills assessment as part of the selection process to find new middle managers, watching how workers respond in virtual reality to angry shoppers, a messy aisle, as well as underperforming workers. So they're utilizing it for training purposes to try and weed out or figure out who would be a good middle manager, I guess.
Wow!
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That is the dumbest fucking idea I have ever heard.
Wait. There's more.
Okay, so VR...
There's another one that takes it to another level.
Oh boy, I'm looking forward to that.
So hold on. Let's see here. It says let's see. So VR training is becoming more common in a variety of industries to educate a large number of workers quickly or assess the technical ability of the high skilled workers, such as electricians or pilots. Actually, pilots make sense. Electricians, I guess, could make sense as well. You don't want to die on your first training day.
No, they just run 10 volts instead of 110.
So
hey.
Yeah.
It's not voltage that kills you. It's
amperage. The amperage. You're 100% right about that.
No. It's amperage that lights your ass on fire. I'm not worried about shit killing me. I'm worried about hurting.
Jester, before you get in trouble, apparently Sylvia says hi, and then says, "Fine, don't say hi, bye."
I apologize profusely. I am literally trying to manage 4 kids. Like this wonderful one right here. Did I get enough for you? I just hit play. Come here. Come here. I want to show them I'm not going crazy. Look, see, I'm actually talking to somebody. See, this is my 6-year-old that plays beats.
Hello.
Say hi.
Hi.
Watch Spider-Man.
So that particular article that particular article about the VR in Walmart specifically ends off by saying like it pushes VR or VR evaluation to a massive hourly workforce. In some cases, helps determine who gets a raise or who gets demoted.
Now,
I know that's crazy.
I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Which one?
How far do you live from Los Angeles? You're a couple hours, right?
No. I drive 7. Realistically, a little more than that. I am outside of San Jose, in the Bay Area. I'm Silicon Valley.
Yeah. I don't know much about California. I'll be honest. I don't know about their layout.
The Bay Area is in the middle on the coast, and then LA is down in the asshole of California down here.
Fair enough. Well, the reason I'm asking, on July the 5th, so the day after the YouTube video goes live.
Yes.
There's a new massage parlor that'll be opening in Los Angeles called Escapes. And it's a VR massage parlor. So it'll combine virtual reality with a chair massage, essentially. So you pick one of, I think they said they're starting with like 10 different choices, and then they've got like 2 or 3 more that are listed as coming soon. But you can be like at a koi pond where you can sit and watch the koi swim by while you're getting a chair massage using VR.
So the chair is one of those massaging chairs.
Yeah.
That's a lot better than I was. My first thought was like being on a massage table, getting a massage, and like in VR seeing some hot woman, and lifting your VR goggles and seeing some hairy guy, like hot chick. Oh God, it's Kirok!
But the company does call this an immersive relaxation experience. One that is like a mini vacation without the high costs.
Okay. Wait. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Marketing wink meter just went off the scale. Listen, don't get me wrong. I like the idea. I genuinely do. I like it for 2 reasons. One, it's an opportunity for people who don't have VR to experience VR in some manner. And who doesn't love a good massage no matter what? Of course, that could mean a lot more than what it actually means. But anyways, I digress. The problem with VR, even now, even though VR is not a new thing, I would put it honestly in the category now of being established, just not mainstream.
Right.
Is there's always somebody trying to create something it is this. Oh, and we'll throw VR too, just to add the extra marketing wink, little tick mark on there. VR, especially when you're talking about, again, this type of thing, you're not going to go out and spend $2,000 on a computer system, and kit, so you can lay there and watch koi go by. I'm sorry, unless I can control one of the koi and pew the other koi or something like that, I'm not interested. Just saying. And on the topic of the whole job training thing, like auto mechanic, electrician, etc., great ideas. Virtual aspects are wonderful, but I think they're going to be better served in the AR market than they are the VR market.
100%. Because then they can see what's in front of them, plus they can project schematics and things like that over top.
Well,
in front of a god, they has a camera on the goddamn thing.
True.
To be fair, that's not AR. That's MR. That's mixed reality.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so what is
that's mixed reality?
Augmented reality. Yeah, I was gonna say. So then describe augmented to me.
Well, augmented reality part of mixed reality. Mixed reality can have a lot of elements to it. Mixed reality could have nothing to do with a headset. It could have something that's tactile attached to you, and you can be walking around in the real world with no visualizations, but have a ghost tap you on the shoulder. That's mixed reality. Semantics.
What they're defining as mixed reality is more like the like Google Glass would be considered AR, augmented reality. But the HoloLens is mixed reality because it uses spatial awareness, and it can project into an area and be adjusted by by hand controls instead of because the cameras can actually see your hands and actually make hands controls. That's a mixed reality because you can manipulate it with your hands and not have to have controllers or
right. I understand. Okay, interesting.
That's there is a AR is more like what they do with Pokemon Go with when you're doing the capture and you have the camera turned on.
Which everybody doesn't because it totally drains their battery. But anyways, I digress. Which by the way, total side note, unrelated. I am so pissed off that I cannot download the new Harry Potter Wizards Unite because it keeps fucking up my damn phone. Google,
really?
Oh my god! I'm so pissed off about this.
A friend of mine showed me that. A friend of mine
figure out for the post show, people. I'll rant some more about it.
So
you mean this one?
Oh, he's got it. He's got it. I didn't bother. So there is one.
Can you see this? Is this clear enough for you?
What was it? No. There is one other article that CZ found regarding. Let's go through this. LG to launch a cloud-based 5G VR gaming service this year.
Good luck with that.
So
Good
LG,
luck with that. Let me know how it works.
U Plus Corp on Tuesday said it will be releasing a cloud-based virtual reality gaming service later in 2019. Essentially, they're building something that is supposed to nice. It's supposed to take advantage of the low latency 5G networks that are on the horizon.
Yeah, on the horizon. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Maybe 2021.
Wait. We already have games as a service systems rolling out this year. How is that any different?
5G,
which is already rolling out, especially on.
No, it's not.
I'm not really following that stuff.
Standard has rolled out, and once again, the reality is there is like that much shit out there that can possibly utilize it, and the real world speeds are a joke. And it's, yes, this is 5G. If you stand here with this one fucking device that has it in this one spot in this one city, by effing God, you've got it. You walk out of there, it's like LTE.
First of all, T-Mobile's already got it. Already has it in I think 20 locations. 20 cities, 20 or more cities already have 5G on the T-Mobile network.
Every city that actually gives you full 5G capacity.
Well, it's going to take time.
There are 5G devices because this has already been because the 5G protocol has been in service for 3 years now.
Pull the maps to show me. I want desperately be proven wrong. I really do. I have heard this song and dance before on every goddamn iteration. And more so over, it doesn't help when you've got new technology that boasts great plausible things. And for people who don't know, 5G isn't just another iteration over 4G, over 3G. 5G is a completely new spec and standard.
Yeah.
Theoretically can easily blow high-speed internet out of the water. But there is a downside because where it gets its speed from is the frequency that it runs at, and that frequency is dead nut useless going through any walls.
So
it's millimeter wave.
And then you walk inside your house and you get nothing.
And you get nothing. That's when it connects to your Wi-Fi.
On your porch in front of your neighbors, you can do this cloud VR crap. You want to do it in your house in your own privacy? Good luck with that.
So I'll just get those 99-cent porn games outside.
Exactly.
So they go on to say that basically they're going to establish VR gaming zones in about 50 stores in July and then increase the number to about 90 nationwide by the end of this year.
In stores.
Yeah, I know. So they're going to basically it's controlled, right?
Time out. Hold on. I didn't realize it, but my marketing wank meter was going off the scales again. Here's the problem. They're talking about cloud gaming, which is perfectly plausible. And they're talking about, oh, look, 5G, because 5G is a big buzzword. 5G, great. The whole point of it is to be mobile. That's why phones are supposed to be coming out with the standard.
Yeah.
If you're 5G, so you can stand inside of a damn store, why not just use Wi-Fi?
Absolutely, actually, now that you point that out.
Hello? I mean, come on. People.
Hold on. Global tech players, including Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and Apple, have been looking into delivering games via the cloud to gain an early lead in the new market. So it's an interesting thing. I looked at it as kind of like the VR version of what mobile phones are today. It'd be something where you don't have to worry about having a computer to run VR, but as long as you got a connection to 5G, then you'll be able to play VR games just by downloading them and playing them. In fact,
absolutely.
I was like, no, but I was like saying, there goes the data rate. Like, the data is going to be out of this world. Like, if it actually works, the carriers are going to have a field day with this.
I agree. Here's the thing. The idea of cloud gaming is very plausible. Google's got Stadia coming out.
Mm-hmm.
There have been other experimentation with that in the past. I think that's plausible. Yes, you still have a good chunk of the world that cannot get high speed enough to support game streaming. And I know this because here I am in Santa Cruz. We are part of the greater Bay Area, the Silicon Valley, and we still have users that, from my company, can't even use an IP phone from home because their data rates suck so badly that it doesn't work. And this is over a Comcast line. Yes, I'm calling Comcast out because a bunch of fucktards that don't do a goddamn thing because they don't have to. We have issues with bandwidth as it is. But yes, if you can get past that, if you can get past the idea of gaps like Australia, wake up, or just not be able to get high-speed internet to rural areas, you could absolutely do high-speed gaming. And yes, server farms could easily allocate the necessary processes to crunch, render, and send the visuals that these headsets need to run. And it'll be wonderful because at that point, you'd have a headset that doesn't have this freaking cord hanging off of it.
Yeah.
And that would be wonderful. But right now, I can do that if I want to buy the wireless add-on for the stupid thing.
Yes, yeah, I looked at that.
My Wi-Fi. I mean,
I looked at that.
Can do that. And again, using the buzzword 5G when you're inside of a house and millimeter wave can't get into it, it's not going to work. Unless you're doing this on the patio.
Well,
yes.
The other thing to ask about, speaking of getting internet out to especially rural locations.
Ooh.
And this might be a conversation for another episode at some point too, but
yeah.
What about the satellite net?
Ooh. Elon's new satellite net?
You talk about Facebook's attempt to completely ruin any attempts for us to launch anywhere satellites because of the entire thing littered? Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
I'm talking about Elon Musk's, but
yeah.
The one who's actually got satellites in space.
Yeah, he's got 60 or so launched, I think.
Yeah, he's already got the first round of 60.
I'm confused on that front. I think this is definitely a topic for another time because we can talk about internet and possible. Because 5G should solve a lot of the last mile issues because you can project 5G from tower to tower very efficiently. Satellites are another possibility, absolutely. But then you get into the whole realm of, if you're going to put a bunch of little microsats up in space, you kind of need to cover all of space to cover all of the ground. And at that point, how do you launch anything else up without hanging a net full of garbage?
Yeah, I think they said that they're going to be launching like 12,000, or was it more? 16,000 or something?
I would have to research it, but I think it was in the...
A lot.
Yeah, I think it was like 16,000.
A whole lot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Uh-oh.
What? Uh-oh.
By the way, check your Discord messages, there, Warp. I left you something.
All right. So I do have one other question for you, Warp, specifically.
Okay.
Tell me if you have or if you haven't yet, and I'm hoping you have. Not that I want you to experience this, but have you had any VR sickness? Has anyone in the family experienced it?
So that's a great question.
Yeah.
So I have been trying a lot of different games out to see how my VR legs are. Yeah, I told you about the experience falling out of a window and throw everything, and that was disconcerting. For me personally, I tried Panzer Panic, where you're a tank and you look around with the turret, and you have two, tank controls to control the tank.
Okay.
And I found myself instinctively, when the tank moves forward, I end up leaning into it, expecting to have to counteract that momentum, try and push me back, and so I would fall forward. So I had to end up doing that, where you spread your legs out to stabilize yourself so you wouldn't fall over. But other than that, I didn't feel very sick at all. I did get a little bit of, I guess you could call it vertigo, when I loaded up a VR desktop, because it's not all those in front of you, but then you're floating in space. You look down.
Yeah.
And it's just galaxy. I looked down and went, oh, God. Okay. Holy crap. So that was a little disconcerting. But actual VR sickness, I have not yet. Now, that said, there are some roller coaster simulators that I do want to try.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to actively invoke that illness effect to see what it's like. I downloaded Google Earth VR, which, oh my dear God, if you have a VR system and you do not have this free program, holy sweet Jesus, please go get it now. It is totally worth it.
I downloaded it. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's amazing. What I did for me to really experience it is I went in and turned off the comfort mode in VR. What that does is, normally by default, it has comfort mode on. So when you move, you hit a little button and you fly through the world. It ratchets it down to a small iris.
Oh, yes.
It looks like you're looking at a little orb. But that way there's a big static plane behind it. So you don't feel like you're moving, because your body sees a lot of static, non-moving part. And then when you get to a location, it opens back up. I turned that off so that the whole world is whizzing by me. I love it. I think it's amazing.
Feel like you're Superman. Yes.
I want to go grab my underwear and put it on the outside of my pants just to get the full experience. But I loved it. I put the goggles on my wife, and she started to move and went, oh, God, no, done, no. So I had to turn it back on for her. Once I turned it on, she was fine. She was perfectly fine. She could move around without any issues. So she's a little more queasy towards it than I am.
Got it.
Apparently. But yeah, I will be honest with you. I think so far I've done very, knock on wood, I have done very well so far. Not had any major issues yet.
Good, very good. Yeah, every game I've played perfectly fine, but I played one game which was not really designed for VR. They basically added on VR to it. So it was a controller-based game, and I was sitting there in a chair playing it. I think it was called, oh my God, something The Silent Oath. I can't remember now the full name of it. Anyways, I'm playing the game, and the game has built-in comfort modes, kind of like what you're describing, where you can put like lines that are always there but kind of semi-transparent, so that your brain has something to focus on that is static. But I left them off, and I was playing, and I played it for maybe 3 hours, and it slowly crept up on me. And then I was like, okay, guys, and I was streaming this. And I'm like...
The other thing is, I haven't done it for a long term. Most of the games I sampled were 15, 20 minutes.
So I stopped. I'm like, okay, guys, I think I'm going to go sleep. And I just cut the stream off. I went to bed. I felt sick. Yeah. That one game.
Wow. That'll be interesting to try out, because I'm curious if I get to that point. And to be fair, this is a known thing. And in the early days, I believe we talked about this quite a while back on the podcast. But some of the things they were sampling was putting like a VR proboscis in your field of vision, which apparently helped a lot of people out. And now, with so much time going by, we're starting to see a lot of articles and reports of people saying, yeah, I used to get violently ill. Now I've adjusted. My body now accepts and it can handle that opposing input. My eyes say I'm moving, my inner ear says I'm not, and my body is okay with it.
So you can acclimatize to it.
Yes, you can acclimate.
So I haven't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Kira, you said that like Fallout 4 uses vignetting, right?
Yes. They had basically like what Warp just described, little tunnel things. So when you move quick, everything would kind of like focus in, and you'd see almost like a little tunnel around everything. I shut that off, and it didn't bother me that game. So they have that built in, which I think they also call comfort or comfort something. I can't remember. Comfort setting. But I turned it off, and I never felt sick at all in the game, so I was fine. One suggestion.
It's still a little too Ready Player One for me, but
yeah.
I wish it was that good. I would never leave VR again. I'd hook a catheter and myself would win.
I do have a suggestion for you. I got a game. It's not much of a game. It really isn't a game, but it was like $12 Canadian, so it's probably like, I don't know, $8 or $9 US. It's called Richie's Plank Experience.
No.
Oh, come on, you know already.
No.
Oh, you gotta try it. It is so, like, it even has a warning if you have a heart condition not to play it, man.
So one of the games I more as a joke for my wife than anything was something like the Viking Life or something like that, and it's a very cartoonic, pixely type environment where you live the life of a Viking, and things like, you know, dodge a dragon's breath and sharpen an axe and quaff your beer, and one of them is walk across a bridge and the wind's blowing and it's blowing in your directions. I walk across, I'm like, nope. I'm like looking up doing this, walking across.
So hang on. For those of you who don't know, Richie's Plank Experience is basically a plank in VR, and you walk the plank off the edge of a skyscraper, and you could look down and you can see everything. And if you actually step off, your VR body will fall to the bottom, and then once you hit bottom, it resets.
About the people who actually put a board out for that?
Yes. So thank you for bringing that out. They actually have instructions in the game how to, in real 3D space, in the real world, to put a real plank in the right place so you can walk in VR on a plank that's really only half a foot off the floor, but it feels real now because not only are you getting the visual, you feel the edges with your feet. Freaky as shit, man. But anyways, the other cool thing about that game, which isn't really a game, is you can, if you choose, there's a fly mode, and you can literally fly around the city from top of skyscrapers all around, even follow a helicopter in the sky, almost like as if you're Iron Man. It's pretty cool. You can leave traces of colored smoke too.
You know what we need to do?
What's that?
As a group, we need to get together. We need to make a version of the ride that actually works.
What ride?
You guys remember? Do you remember the ride controller? It was basically a skateboard deck that was a controller, and it was supposed to take the motion when you lean it side to side or front and back. It was supposed to translate the motion into Tony Hawk's Ride.
They back to me. Before you started describing it, I had a completely different thing in mind. Anyways.
But if we could get one of those that actually worked and matched it with VR, we can make some killer skateboarding games.
That would be really cool. Wow, that's a pretty good idea.
I can totally. I mean, they've got to have some of those still out there. Somebody can easily code for that, right?
Probably.
Internet, get on this. I mean, seriously, they're okay. So, let's talk about some of the shit sides to VR here for a minute, because I gotta say there are some things here there are some major flaws and flops in my mind, and I have not seen these addressed in most, if not all, the headsets that I've looked into so far. So first of all, there's the whole people with screwed up eyes thing, like people who have glasses.
Mm-hmm.
That is a large chunk of the population, and making headsets that really just do not fit glasses in some way or are horribly uncomfortable. Come on.
Yeah.
Give me a flippin' break. I mean, if you're going to do that, at the very least, have the reasonably functional ability for add-in
lenses. Yeah.
How flippin' hard is it to have a standard frame that has like magnetic points? You can just drop it in, mag connect it in front of the lenses, so you can actually freaking. I know it's going to cost extra money, and forgive me for all of my four-eyed brethren. I would rather be able to pay the extra scratch for an extra pair of lenses that they can make for these things that can drop in there, and not have the freaking arms of my glasses digging into my skull, giving me a flipping headache.
I've been
while
there.
I'm trying to play. Okay.
And the other thing too is when you have the frames on, I put the thing all the way out so I don't have a chance of the frames hitting the lenses. And that takes away from the immersion, actually.
It does, because the further away lenses go, the less field of view you've got.
Yeah.
So that's issue number one right there. And this is a large population. It's like I'm asking you to make a controller that works with some guy who has no right arm, only a nub for a left leg, and whatever. This is a common issue.
To be fair, Xbox has that.
Yes, Xbox does.
Xbox does have a controller for that person.
Oh, the one with the missing arm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you not seen that?
I think I have, actually.
I used to watch Ben Heck's channel. He makes those damn things. The point I'm trying to make is common issue, no common responsible result for it. Give me a flippin' break.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, take some time.
I went out and got contacts just to do it,
Seriously. I don't care about the screen door effect. It's not that big a deal.
No, it's not that big a deal.
If you enjoy a game enough, you're not going to notice it.
You won't notice it. Yeah, you're right. 100%.
I don't care about the God rays. I hardly ever notice those. It's not a big deal. Fix this issue for the love of God, please. Fix this issue. Okay. The second thing, when it comes to VR, this fucking thing. Okay?
You know how many times I've pulled it and it unplugs and it kills my game?
You laugh, but okay.
Do you have it hanging off the ceiling?
For all those who get motion sick, hang on.
He has it on the ceiling, like nice.
I have it mounted to my wall coming out, so that as I'm walking around, this thing can move with me.
Got it. Yep.
So yeah, we're talking about the situation where I really, really love the idea of these things, but this damn umbilical is an absolute pain. I get wrapped up in it constantly. I'm constantly hitting it when I'm trying to do Beat Saber. I get caught up on me. It is annoying, and this is just generation one of me trying to figure out how to do this better. I've got 14-foot vaulted ceilings. I can't just have.
Oh, you're breaking up.
It's inconvenient, and the option they have. One of those options they have isn't the man. I am losing you guys so bad.
Yeah. So was I. There you go. You're a little better now.
I apologize. My computer's now on wireless, so.
Okay.
Yes, wireless. Please put some honest to God effort into wireless.
Wireless, built in, not a stupid add-on.
Exactly. Please, for the love of God, it's just like saying, listen, we'll sell you a nice car. It's going to cost you. Oh, and by the way, we're only going to give you 2 out of the 4 wheels, but you can buy the extra wheels.
No, it's okay. I can ride on the side.
You just drag the ass with you.
Oh.
So those are some of the biggest and most heinous issues with these headsets. The fact that the original Vive made you have to buy that damn strap, that $100 add-on kit. Meh, it's not the greatest thing, but whatever. The Index, to its credit, does come with that type of harness already.
Already, yeah, I noticed that in the picture. Yeah.
On them, on on the game front. Holy sweet Jesus! I am so sorry that this is not a more popular avenue, because games are just not coming out for it, and there are so many games that could be revisited and reimagined in a VR world. Like, Star Trek Bridge Cruise 1. Everybody gets together. We sit on the bridge of a starship and try not to blow ourselves up. This is great. Games like Keep Talking and
that game is fantastic.
And it's perfect for VR. I love it. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities there. Okay, I'll give you one of the best ones I have. Magic the Gathering. Popular card game, makes buku bucks because of rares and whatnot. They successfully transitioned that game into the digital world. So now you've got Magic the Gathering online. The same kind, you can buy digital cards, rares, commons, and whatnot. So there's another popular total geek thing. It's miniatures, like Warhammer and kind of games.
Warhammer,
you
yeah.
got a big map on a table, and then oh my god, put this in VR. Sell digital miniatures, again, rares, commons, etc. Be able to customize the skins. Oh, packs get special weapons for them.
Have actual paint brushes and.
Holy shit! I mean, people walking around freaking CS:GO with a goddamn Technicolor sniper rifle, which is not exactly great for hiding with.
No.
Your rifle is louder than I am.
Yes,
and you're supposed to be a stealth sniper.
My god! So
for these games,
somebody's gonna buy. Yeah.
Warhammer or something. Miniatures online. Great revenue. Total possibilities is there. Trust me on this.
I'm so happy you brought up the guns, because I see so many of these games where streamers are streaming and the guns have like all these neon colors on them, and I'm like, that's not the first thing I would take into battle. Yeah, like I wouldn't take that to save my life any day.
I don't want my gun camo.
Yes.
I'm a sniper kind of guy. I don't want to be seen. And when I go to line up on a shot and my gun's doing the freaking disco, it doesn't really help me.
So have you done that game? The other one that I kept talking about, hot dog, horseshoes, and hand grenades?
I did play for a little bit, testing it out. It's entertaining.
Okay. There's no real game there, but it's awesome. Like the reality, the realisticness.
It is interesting.
Okay.
I think the humor was just that. It was an opportunity for me to be humorous and play around with it. But it's not going to be a game in my world where I'm going to keep pulling it over and over again to play with it, because what can I do?
Yeah, the only thing they have is the time trials at their shooting range, and that's about it. That you can actually try and compete against your own record. That's about it.
Which is fine. I mean, I like it. I like the quality of it. I think it's a great. I think it's. I would put it in the class of showing you what VR can do.
Yeah.
If you want to throw a banana in VR, this is the game for you.
Gentlemen, I hate to cut this short, but
yeah, it's getting on, but okay. Well, no, this has been amazing. We had some great discussion about VR. Plus, we got a chance to talk about other applications that VR is currently being used. It's interesting to see how it's matured over the last few years, but I don't think it's matured completely. There's still a lot of room for growth, but like Warped alluded to, it's not exactly on fire, right?
It's steady. it's like a nice, it's like a good strong security or a bond. It's not gonna make you rich, but it's gonna keep growing.
Yeah, yeah. So before we wrap it up, Warped, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it greatly. Tell us what's going on with you. Sorry.
It's
good to be back. Yeah,
it's good to be back.
It's awesome to hear you rant and rave. I love it. I miss it. Oh, so good.
I'll be honest with you. I love this part of it. It's dealing with Skype before the show. It's dealing with the fallout afterwards. Yeah. No, I appreciate getting a chance to hang out with you guys. That's probably my biggest thing. I just literally got back into gaming because of this VR system. My poor little gaming PC hung out in the office. I hadn't touched this entire year until now.
Okay.
I'm kind of I guess the best way to describe it is a retired gamer that's been playing dad.
Okay. All right. You could stream it, and I don't mean just you. Even when family members are playing and they don't know about it.
Oh yeah. I believe that would go over out of this like a turd in a punch bowl.
Oh my god. Component Z, what's coming up for you? What's going on?
Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of retro gaming. I've been doing a little Diablo 2 with Mouse and Bob.
Nice.
Still playing Dragon Quest. That's
I saw you.
You were on
a couple nights back. I remember you were streaming. I hopped in.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful looking game. I just don't know if I'd get into it.
It's a fun game, actually. I love Dragon Quest because over, say, the Final Fantasy series, because they don't always take themselves seriously. There's a lot more humor and a lot more, just kind of poking fun at the RPG genre.
Gotcha. Right on. Cool. As far as myself goes, I got back into streaming in early June. Took a little bit of personal time off and streamed for June, played nothing but Minecraft. I decided because I knew in July I was going to take a break for a month. So all of July I'm not streaming. As of August 5th, I think I'll be back on again. I have vacation coming up, heading up north doing some fishing. Plus I have some family visiting from Italy after that, so got to entertain. But that's pretty much it for me. Once I come back, though, I'll be doing Minecraft, finish the slime trap. Awesome. And I'll be doing back into Kingdom Come Deliverance. That's my game on the slate. So,
ooh.
Yeah. So thank you everyone who joined us tonight. Thank you so much. I think there were a few people in chat, so thanks guys for coming. It means a lot. You can, obviously you're here, you're on Twitch watching us. So basically we have twitch.tv/BottleRocketGaming. And we do this podcast, Defective Discourse, once a month, usually every Tuesday of the month. And I say usually because we did the E3 episode 1 week later to catch up or be able to report on E3, which wasn't that great, like that exciting.
Yeah, it was kind of lackluster.
It was. I agree. Yeah. So you can find our YouTube channel, or you can watch this particular stream that we're recording and then archiving on YouTube at YouTube. What is it? YouTube.com/BottleRocketGaming. That'll be in a couple of days. So your July 4th in the U.S. is the day that we are going to be putting it online, so everybody can enjoy. And if you wanted to join the community, you can join us. Easiest way is probably to look up on Discord, Bottle Rocket Gaming. You'll be able to chat, join the Discourse channel, chat with the people in the community. There's all kinds of people there, different people playing games together. Some of them do stuff like what we're doing here on this podcast. So check it out. Do a search for Bottle Rocket Gaming on Discourse. And lastly, you know, being here in the actual live stream on Twitch or even leaving comments on the YouTube channel does help a lot. It helps the community itself. But if you're, like Warped used to say, a person who likes the armchair support, you can sit back, relax, and go to patreon.com. So patreon.com/BottleRocketGaming. And if you feel like you want to support us there monetarily, you can. I believe there's like several different tiers with different rewards depending on how much you prefer, like to provide. So that's pretty
For
much
less
it.
than a cup of a coffee per month, you can help the poor, starving children of Connecticut.
Connected stand. Nice. Somebody send me a Valve Index, please. Please. All right. I want to say goodbye and thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night, guys.
And I think I'm supposed to fade off to outro. Yeah, here we go.
Don't forget to support us on Patreon. Also follow us on Twitter. Thank you for watching and good night.
So when I speak, I think it shows up on this as well.
Cheerio.